Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Kenny Wallace Show, brought to you by JEGS, the leader in high-performance aftermarket car parts. Remember to go to jegs.com for everything you need to fix your vehicles up, and they are telling me now they are all about Jeep parts and pickup truck parts. All right. Deep breath, Herman. I've been gone 12 days. I've been on the Kyle Petty charity ride. I had so much fun watching 86-year-old Richard Petty ride that trike. Richard and I ran towards the back, and I was drafting him like we do at Talladega. We was running about 85 mile an hour at times. The King still holds a pretty will. And then after that, I went on down to Darlington, the track that's too tough to tame, the Lady in Black. And it did not disappoint. All right. Let's get right to it. Brad Keselowski wins it. What an incredible win. And this is why. Herminator's going to put his 200 bifocals on. 3 years. 3 years. 3 for Earnhardt, or 110 race winless streak. Now, here's a champion. Brad Keselowski's a champion. And when he was getting it done, winning every month, but this is why sports is so awesome. It's like the guy that you like to hate, or you don't really want him to do good because he does good so much. This is Brad Keselowski. He went 3 years and did not win. Or as I said, 110 races. And now all of a sudden we like him. This, my friends, is sports. They're doing too good. Chokehold them. Oh, they're about ready to die. Okay, let them come back. The Herminator breaks it down like people want to, but don't. That is why this was such a big win, because they were trying to chokehold Brad out, and he was almost gone, and he comes back. And fans love it when there's a big comeback story. So Brad Keselowski wins it. Listen, this is a race I'm going to get down just a little bit. I'm not going to go from the start of the race. I just got to tell you why, for some of these situations, why it was such a big win for Brad Keselowski. And in reality, that's what this race was all about. Funny, right? Catch this. It's always a throwback week. So now we know that going to Darlington is all about reminiscing. And boy, this was a great idea. I don't know. I think it was Chip Wow from NASCAR or their team, 10 years ago. Let's make Darlington a throwback. It's like in baseball. I'm a big Cardinal guy, so I'm always, comparing. Look what they're doing. They're wearing the old uniforms. Oh, look, the stadium looks old. We all like to go back every once in a while. So in a throwback week, a throwback driver wins. Brad Keselowski. All right. I think I've put this to bed, and I've painted the picture why Brad's win was so exciting. Let's talk about the real reason why this is such a big win for Brad. The one I just told you was more of a philosophical, emotional reason why it was a popular win. But the real reason this was a big win for Brad Keselowski is he done something unthinkable, say 4 or 5 years ago. He could see that Roger Penske really didn't, Roger Penske and Brad Keselowski were starting to fall in and out of love, really couldn't come to agreement. Brad Keselowski says, I'm out. Brad Keselowski leaves the great Roger Penske because Jack Roush said, hey, some of the things I do is animated to get the point across, right? So here's Jack Roush. I'm old. Come save me. And he likes how Brad Keselowski operates. Brad is old school. Brad used to build his own race cars. Brad Keselowski's dad, the whole Keselowski family, they're one of those ultimate racing families where they're known. They're from Michigan. Guess who else is from Michigan? Jack Roush. So Jack Roush reaches out to Brad Keselowski so many years ago and says, come run my race team. I'm getting too old. Brad Keselowski says, oh gosh, your cars are slow, Jack. But you know what? I like this because now this is going to secure Brad Keselowski's future. Jack, financially, good contract, says, okay, here's our deal. Now Brad Keselowski is always going to have income coming in, even when he quits racing in NASCAR. Brad Keselowski is officially a car owner. So Brad starts. They got Chris Buescher, his teammate, who, by the way, is getting it done. I mean, this kid is showing up. Chris Buescher is like, that old cliche, fine wine, it gets better with time. That is Chris Buescher. Everybody knew Buescher was talented, but, Brad Keselowski has a good teammate. And by the way, they have signed, you've heard it here, they have signed Chris Buescher to a multi-year agreement that got announced on Sunday after all the hoopla. So this is a bigger win because Brad took a chance, and when he took the chance, he clearly stated to all the media, this is going to be painstaking. It's going to be god-awful. We're ready for the challenge. And he said that multiple times. And we're like, oh, man, Keselowski leaving Penske to go to those slow cars over there at Roush. That's why this victory is sweet. We said it right here on the Kenny Wallace show that, look here, Roush is starting to show up again. Hold on. Brad Keselowski starting to show up again. Go through Kenny conversation. We've interviewed the greatest race car drivers NASCAR has to offer. By the way, Jimmy Johnson has been tough on me, but he said, Herman, I'm coming on the month of May. But what my point is, we have interviewed the greatest NASCAR drivers NASCAR has to offer. Jeff Gordon says, Herman, I love you like a brother. I'm not ready yet. But my point is this. Go on Kenny Conversation and listen to our conversation with Brad Keselowski. He says this is a challenge. So now here we are. RFK, Roush, Fenway, Keselowski, RFK. It's a tongue twister. But now they have arrived. They're running in the top 10 every week. But that's the reason. Here we are 8 minutes into this, and we've told you 8 minutes worth why this was such a big win. Herminator's trying to make things a little shorter, so I'm not going to repeat myself. Let's get down to that moment. Brad takes the lead. So this is another thing I want to talk about. Tyler Reddick going, challenging for the win over Chris Buescher. Now, you got Buescher leading the race. You got Reddick running second. And a couple car lengths behind him is Brad Keselowski. So basically, it's two cars are fighting for the lead, but right there's Brad, right there. And Tyler Reddick goes into turn 3, dives it in hard, messes up, and I mean body slams the heck out of Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick body slams the hell out of Buescher. They both have flat tires. Amazing, right? It's like, oh my gosh, Reddick just flattened his tires. They go around a half a lap, and there's Buescher. They both pit with flat tires, and there it is. There's your leader. There's your leader, Brad Keselowski. He holds a pretty wheel. He finishes it off. Okay, so you got to be running third to win the race, right? So it's not fair to go, well, he didn't deserve to win the race. Oh, yeah, he did, because he was right there. And he capitalized on their aggressive driving. This is where the lady in black, the track too tough to contain, it's no different than the Boston Red Sox. The green monster that left that big, tall wall, right? You have Wrigley Field, you have Fenway Park, and now you have a strange racetrack in NASCAR, which is shaped very odd. It demands you to hit the wall. I mean, you're going to run all these miles. I've ran there a lot. It's one of my favorite tracks, and I like the challenge of this track. You're inches away from the wall every lap. So it's a fun race. All right, The race is over. I do want to point this out, and I want you to respond right here. I like what Brad Keselowski does. He reminds everybody about America. And we know this is a controversial subject. Terminator is going to say it right now. What's Brad Keselowski do? He takes that American flag, and it's there. He waves it around. On this Monday morning, Brad Keselowski's daughter takes it to school to do Pledge of Allegiance. So Brad Keselowski making sure that we're not letting this go. This was a very patriotic win, and I'm commenting on what I saw. America, baby, land of the free, land of opportunity, and Brad Keselowski made sure that everybody saw that, and he ain't let up on the gas. His daughter took that American flag from that win yesterday to school this morning, and Brad's wife, Paige, puts it on X and took it for Pledge of Allegiance. I mean, what a thrill that's got to be for their daughter, after it plays out on national TV. And that American flag ends up in that school for Pledge of Allegiance because they're patriotic. They believe in America. That's awesome. All right, this race gets over. We got Brad, on the front straightaway with the American flag. Boom, cameras go down on pit road. Now we got Chris Buescher gets out of his car, hustles, doesn't run, but jogs back to Tyler Reddick, kind of shoves on him a little bit, doesn't go to fighting. But I got to tell you, this was award-winning TV. This is documentary-winning type TV. This is where the producer really showed up. So for all of you that are mad at Fox for showing commercials, things like this is where you got to go. Good job, Jamie Little, on the interview. Good job, producers, whether it's Artie Kempner or whoever in the Fox truck. Once again, I worked there 15 years. I know everybody. I'm sure that was Artie Kempner. He produces all the Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles games. Fox does all the football stuff. Their producers are really good. They stayed on it. They got the sound on it. We heard every single thing. This is like being in somebody's house, and you can hear it all. And in the end, it's a deal where two grown men are going at it. And Buescher says, "You're better than that, Reddick." And Reddick pleads. He goes, "I messed up. I'm so sorry. I got in there too hard," because Reddick took himself out. And Buescher says, "You're better than that." And then Buescher sees that Reddick has won a race this year, and he's got that checkered flag up above his name. That's a big deal because that checkered flag represents I'm locked into the playoffs. Okay, and a lot of people didn't understand that. When Buescher said, "You got a checkered flag," I wanted one because that little logo, when you win a race, NASCAR puts that little checkered flag next to your name. That means basically what that means is not just you are a winner, but you're locked into the first round of playoffs, top 16. That's what Chris meant by that. All right. I think we broke that down pretty good. Herminator got his notes here. I think we pretty much knocked it all out. I do want to say that we'll have Charlie drop this right here. Charlie, Jeff Gluck's poll. I like what I see. This has got to be close to a record. 93.7. And this poll is probably not over yet, Charlie. 93.7% of you say it was a good race. I say it was a great race. Of course, I'm excited. I'm happy. I always wear rose-colored glasses. So 93.7% of you say it was a great race. And I'm going to leave you all with this. I know that a lot of you get mad at me that I like NASCAR. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to apologize, okay? Three, again for Earnhardt. 3 incredible finishes this year. Right now, in capital letters, NASCAR is on top. Atlanta, 3 wide finish. Man wins by an inch. Kansas City, 2 wide, but really 4 wide. That was a week ago. How can it get any better, right? and then Darlington. The reason Darlington was so good is because with just laps to go, Reddick slams in, body slams Busher, and here goes the guy that's been struggling. This is a feel-good story, and Brad Keselowski wins the race, waves the American flag. Daughter takes the flag to school. We're patriots. You see all the nuances? That's why this was such a big deal. That's why this was such a big deal. All right, everybody, listen, we can keep on going on this and that, but Charlie and myself trying to give you all some shorter versions. This is the Kenny Wallace Show. I give you my opinion on this show. We break it down. Big crowd too. Did they take grandstands away? Maybe, but still, what's there looks good. Right now, NASCAR on top, 3 great races, 93.7% say it was a good race, and I'm excited. How about you? Please like and subscribe right here. And remember, you can listen to this in podcast form, Spotify and iTunes. All right, we're going to go dirt racing a little bit. Michael Rigsby on the show tomorrow. And next week, we got him coming down the pipeline. We got Mark Richards, the owner of Rocket Chassis. And then we got Mitchell Stapleton, who's got one of the best YouTube shows in America, where Mitchell Stapleton goes and he does a throwback, and he goes to all the old shops. All right, everybody. Or, all right, everybody. Until next time, Kenny Wallace Show just keeps on rolling.